Good morning, folks. Father Walsh, and we're going to have a very short little reflection this morning. And it's a story really of the Annunciation, after the Annunciation of John the Baptist and the Annunciation of Jesus. And John the Baptist, of course, is he's the son of Zachariah and Elizabeth. And Elizabeth is an old lady at this point in time. Didn't ever expect that because she hadn't gotten pregnant earlier in life, she didn't expect it was going to happen at this point in time. And obviously, it's through the blessing and the goodness of God. Then Mary, on the other hand, is only a young girl, and again, the angel Gabriel comes to her and tells her that she's going to be the mother of Jesus. And so that's sort of the basis of this gospel reading today. And Mary, this young girl, is obviously a cousin of Elizabeth, and so after she gets pregnant, she decides to go and visit her. But just you need to put yourself in Mary's situation. First of all, to have this strange visitor, and this strange visitor is saying to her, "You're going to have a baby," and the fact that she was espoused, but herself and Joseph were living apart. So all of a sudden, she's going to become an unwed mother. And how is she going to explain it to the world? How is she going to explain it to Joseph? I mean, those are huge questions. And then on top of that, she's told that this isn't an ordinary baby. Rather, that this baby is the Son of God. So her mind must have been literally blown. I mean, all of us have a certain level of I suppose tolerance for anything that doesn't sort of just throw us into sort of a where we don't know what to say or how to say it. So she must have been in a situation like that, and yet we find that even in the midst of this, that all of a sudden she realizes, because she's told by the angel that her cousin Elizabeth also is having a baby. And so she decides that Elizabeth, of course, being an old lady at this stage, she decides that she is going to go and visit her cousin, and obviously to help her. And so that's Mary's story, and so you can sort of see Mary journeying from her home we're told, through the hill country of Judea in order to visit Elizabeth. Now, Elizabeth, on the other hand, was a very old lady, and she had been trying to have a baby with her husband for many years, and she had sort of given up hope. And all of a sudden, the angel Gabriel came to her husband in the temple and tells her that his wife is going to have a baby, and that his name is going to be John. So you can just imagine those two getting together, and Elizabeth knowing that Mary is going to have a baby, and that this baby is not an ordinary baby, that this baby is really God's son on earth. And you might be inclined to say, well, in that situation, would you not expect that Elizabeth, even though she's going to have a child herself, and being an older woman, and knowing that the baby to be born of Mary was going to be superior to the baby born of hers, you'd imagine she would have been perhaps jealous and, questioning why is that so, and why didn't the angel come to her first, etc. But it didn't happen like that. Rather, you can see the generosity of spirit of this old lady, where she said, "Who am I that the mother of my Lord? Who am I that the mother of my Lord should come to me?" So this meeting between these two young women and the old lady obviously was a very beautiful and a very powerful occasion. So there's plenty in it, I think, to reflect upon, and I invite you to think about that story and think about how you would, if you were in that situation, how would you react under those circumstances. So thank you, and we look forward to seeing you at Christmas time.